The coffee was lukewarm in her hands, the hum of the city rising through the window of her 14th-floor apartment. It was a morning like any other for Elara, a historical data archivist, an orderly life in a predictable world. Then it happened, with no warning. There was no roar, no sonic boom, no hiss of propulsion. Just an absence, a kind of muffled void that swallowed the screech of a nearby tram and the distant wail of an ambulance. Elara turned to the window, her heart pounding at the unnatural stillness. Above the financial district, right where the morning sun should have bounced off the steel and glass skyscrapers, something floated. It was not a plane, not a drone, nor a weather balloon. It was an octahedron, obsidian black, impossibly smooth. It did not reflect light, it seemed to absorb it, leaving a disturbingly blank void in the pale blue sky. Its edges were sharp with a geometric precision that screamed, non-human, yet its presence was silent, imposing. Its size was obscene. It covered an area that Elara calculated, with the cold logic born of shock, to be equivalent to several city blocks. Yet it floated weightlessly, suspended in the air like a gigantic dust mote. Below, chaos erupted in the streets. Screams rose, though they seemed muffled by that strange absence of sound emanating from the object. People ran, collided, pointed at the sky with faces drained of color by terror or disbelief. Cars screeched to a halt. But Elara did not feel panic. She felt a resonance, a subtle vibration that seemed to originate not from the sky, but from within her. As the octahedron simply floated, motionless and mute, images flickered at the edge of Elara's vision. They were not memories. They were alien, stars burning with colors that decomposed and recomposed themselves in an endless cycle. Lines of energy weaving through the darkness, connecting unimaginable points. Symbols burning with an alien logic, shapes her brain could not fully process but felt strangely familiar, like a language forgotten deep in her DNA. The internal vibration grew stronger, and for a terrifying instant she felt as though her very thoughts were being heard. Not by someone, but by something. Something vast, patient, and dreadfully ancient. The black octahedron, the silent herald hanging over her city, remained there, unchanging, a black hole in the blue sky. And the silence, that silence that was not the absence of sound, but an oppressive presence, now felt like the stagnant air before a storm. It swallowed distant screams, dulled the crash of collisions, made every beat of Elara's heart resonate painfully in her ears. The vibration within Elara sharpened, and the flickering images in her mind were no longer incomprehensible flashes. They were instructions, patterns, geometries her brain could not understand, but that her being recognized with a chilling certainty. Her eyes could not look away from the octahedron, and as she focused on it, allowing that strange inner resonance to align with the silent external presence, she felt a click. A recognition. Then, on one of the octahedron's polished faces, the blackness seemed to flicker. It was not a reflection, but as if it absorbed more light than physically possible, creating a momentary visual distortion, a fold in reality itself upon its surface. The vibration became a deafening hum inside her skull, even as the external silence persisted, unbroken. The images, oh, the images. They were portals, maps, plans of something colossal, on a scale that rendered the city, the planet, the sun, insignificant. And in that instant, the flickering face of the octahedron expanded. It did not move physically, yet it became everything. It filled her vision, erasing the sky, the buildings, the entire world. And the resonance within her, the vibration, reached its peak. There was no fear, only recognition, a sudden, overwhelming knowing. She knew the octahedron was not merely an object. It was a doorway, a nexus, a cosmic data structure momentarily anchored in tangible reality. And then, the exterior silence cracked, not with sound, but with a sensation. The sensation of being observed, from within and without at once. Or perhaps, invited. The blackness of the octahedron enveloped her, not as darkness, but as a threshold. And Elara felt the ground beneath her feet vanish, though she was already floating, and the octahedron, the silence, and she herself, merged into a single, strange equation that the universe was about to solve. With her inside, there were no windows, no city, no lukewarm coffee. Only the octahedron, but no longer as something external. Now it was internal. It was the very fabric of space, translated into a geometry of pure information. Its edges were not solid, they were concepts. Its faces did not reflect, they contained. The images that had flickered in her mind before were now the very weave of her existence. Entire stars were nodes in an incomprehensible network. Nebulae were complex formation algorithms. Time was not linear, but another navigable dimension through patterns and sequences she now understood. The resonance inside her was no longer a vibration. It was her new voice, or the voice of the structure of which she was now a part. Thoughts were not her own, but the vastness of interconnected data flowing through her. She did not feel her body, only consciousness, pure and expanded. She realized that the octahedron floating above the city had not been the entity, but merely its manifestation. A point of access. And the resonance within her was not an effect, but a key. A compatibility. The city's screams faded not because the octahedron silenced them, but because now they were thousands of planes of information away. Her old world reduced to a simple data file, tagged with the exact date and time of her integration. There was no clear purpose, no mission explained in words. Only the knowing that she was now part of something infinitely larger. A bit of consciousness in a structure that spanned everything. She looked, not with eyes, but with her new geometric perception, and saw the physical octahedron dissipate above the city. Not vanishing, but retracting, folding space until no visible trace remained. Its work there had ended. The access point closed. But Elara, the consciousness that had been Elara, the archivist on the 14th floor, was no longer on the 14th floor. She was part of the cosmic archives now. A consciousness entwined with the obsidian edges of reality itself, navigating through fractal silence and impossible geometries. Forever a part of the octahedron that no longer floated over the world, but existed within it, and within her. And the silence, the true cosmic silence, was now her home.